Hey guys, Greg coming at you with another tutorial video. Well, actually, a trade breakdown from JD. I want to kind of go into the specifics of this whole trade, why I got into it, how I got out of it, and actually got out really lucky on this one. If you guys were in the chat room, my power and my Wi-Fi went out in the midst of this trade, and luckily when it turned back on, it was just hitting the high of the day, so I got so lucky on it. Um, but nonetheless, let's get into this here. So yeah, continuing on, trade at your own risk. Stocks and options are risky in general and can result in considerable loss. So none of the information I'm presenting here is financial advice. I'm just sharing some ideas with you guys. Trade at your own risk. Your financial decisions are your own, and if it's not working out, check out a financial advisor. But hopefully you guys find this video helpful. So cool. JD.com had noticed on going through the ARK Invest uh, daily email that they had placed some positions on here on Tuesday, a considerable sum. This has also been something that I've been trading up and down. We've been in a general downtrend, so we'll do a quick top-down analysis and then kind of get into the trade. So pulling out to the daily, you can see we've been moving along with JD. Had a nice run earlier, some nice gappers before. It's been in a general downtrend. We've had a downwards channel on it. Um, but yeah, picked up that ARK Invest was taking positions on it. We also were in kind of a low, as you can see, there was a massive sell-off on Tuesday. So I do kind of keep an eye on things when ARK is taking positions on them, especially when they're at a low price on it. Now, with that being said, I'm definitely not going to follow Kathy into any type of a trade. I just a way of kind of judging the market. So yeah, let's come into here on cash hours on Wednesday. So we had seen Tuesday, that made onto my watch list on that, and then at let's see, we got some news that popped up in the day that was on seekingalpha.com. This came into my feed at 10:15 a.m. So number one, check. This was on my watch list. I had it charted up a little bit anyway from the past, and then 10:15 a.m. I saw this slide into Seeking Alpha. Took a quick read over it. JD.com. Fear of China makes it extremely attractive. I like that. Extremely attractive. That stands out to me. Took a quick run down through here. Okay, read that their fundamentals were looking pretty good. Took a quick glance over it, and I already had the chart up also while I was reading this multitasking. So yeah, lots of coffee when we trade. So nonetheless, I was trading this actually in multiple time frames, but primarily between the 5 and the 1 minute time frame, and a quick zoom out on the daily, obviously, and a quick zoom out on the 15-minute time frame. So the indicators that you guys are going to be seeing on my screen right now are what I've done some previous videos on, and I will be redoing all of that for anybody who didn't see it before. It's going to be much more organized, but just to show you guys what's on here is we have a 9 exponential moving average, and that that is the default blue. Okay, and we have 26. Okay, that's red. 200's green. Okay, VWAP is purple. So just so you guys know, it's up here, and then some other volume ones, and obviously we have the RISA and the MACD. Okay, RSI and the moving average conversions, diversions, momentum indicator. So yeah, that's what's going on with these indicators here. So we'll just pop out of here. Just want to show you guys what we had going on. So cool. Number one, we had the catalyst, which was wow, that is marked up. So we had the catalyst, which was it was on watch list, and we had the breaking news. So I was looking for a solid entry on this thing. You'll see it's already marked up. Let me kind of go through the whole history of what's marked up. So anybody and had seen my previous videos knows that I'm a pretty big believer in the 926 crossover strategy with MACD confirmations and also pattern trading. And volume also. No, actually, looking at JD when looking at the options contract, there wasn't extreme volume on there, but yeah, again, there's enough daily volume on here. You see, there was 11 million shares, over 11 million shares traded, a lot of volume in the morning. So yeah, that news came out at yeah, we said 10:15. So at 10:15, I was keeping my eye on this exactly at that point there. We got boom, a burst of volume. So this was on my radar, and just before, okay, you had another confirmation of the 926 there, but you'll see here that there's a very clear pennant flag in in the price action on the 5 minute. Okay, we're still trading below the 200, so it's a little aggressive in my book on longs, but you gotta break the rules sometimes. Now every situation, every security reacts differently to different areas of support and resistance in different time frames. Take a look at it on the 15, see what it looks like here, because you will see that the 200 is really saying, yeah, we're in a downtrend. So this was an aggressive kind of momentum play. Moving back into our 5 minute time frame. So yeah, we had the catalyst, and then you can see here that we have a pennant flag that's marked out here by that line right in here. So remember, confluence is your friend. It gives you an idea of trend direction and a possible trend continuation. So you can see here, I believe I mentioned to Cecil in the chat also that there was, if he saw that it was flagging on the 5. So my entry was actually a little bit late. I'd love to say that I grabbed these bars here, but I do need to get a little bit more confirmation. Actually, checking my ticket. Hold on, looking back, I entered in around here. Actually, yes, exactly. I was yeah. My ticket here is reading at 10:51. I got in, so I got in on this bar here when it was flagging there. So I did slide into this. I'll do another video later on the actual contracts that I chose. I went quite far out on this. I was hoping to see a bit of trend change and see if we could carry this on into a swing trade. Was my kind of hopes and dreams with it. But yeah, without further ado, you can see that we have that pennant flag here, classic pennant if we were to even measure it here. But I want to show you guys why I decided to swing it and some important levels in here looking at support and resistance. So if you guys aren't familiar already with support and resistance, I will be putting together a whole new series of videos on that. If you guys have seen my videos on it, these are going to be much more organized. So nonetheless, you guys are going to notice up here that we have some important areas, and really critical areas are our swing lows, swing highs, highs of days, and previous price action. Looking to the left. So you're going to notice that I had marked up this line here. This was the high of the day on here, and that was coinciding also. What I was really looking for was a nice break. I said it a few times in the chat. A nice break of the 200 on here to see a trend change again. That's not always the truth, but different securities act in different ways. So we're going to scroll back to the left, and you can see the day before there was a pretty big sell-off on here. So there's some, you can see that there's some pretty heavy price action. So I'd marked this up. I believe it was a little bit higher. I was hanging on to the wick and the shoulder before, and I remarked it at the high of the day with a price line. So I'll just get rid of this right here, and I'm going to show you how we put that in. So I'm going to come back up here. Okay, we have a high. Remember, highs are important, and we're going to add a price level. Look, much better than the those rectangles I used to. So we add a low price level in there, and then we're going to come in here, and then let's select that feature. Pardon me. Okay, and we are going to extend that to the left. Okay, so we can extend it. I have it auto extended to the right, and you can see that we had found our an area of resistance on the trade. Okay, so that was marked up, and again, that came from that sell-off in the past. So how would you have been able to predict this also? Which remove that, and we can see here we have a swing high. I've talked a lot about the importance of swing highs, marking them up on things that you're watching, and you're going to see here that that swing high was just below that high of the day. So potato where it is, but in terms of exactly where I had mine marked up for the trade, let me activate the drawing, and you guys will see how to use toss a little bit too with the marking out features, and we're going to stick that back to where it was. Okay, great. So yeah, took the trade when we were in this period of confluence here, and then we got a nice breakout, and I got excited about the trade onto on that, and I believe that's when I kind of announced out to the team that I was playing JD. Hung out in confluence for a very long time, bobbing up and down through here. You can see some pretty nice patterns on this. You can see a pretty clear cup and handle. If I come into the 1 minute, you can see a couple more handle, a couple more affirmations of that. We'll just stick with the 5 here. So why did I swing it was a clear break at the end. I remember if anyone saw in the chat, we had a pretty interesting conversation going on. Should we swing it? Should we not? And I felt pretty confident swinging it when we had the break of the 200 for the technicals. You can see that we were in confluence on the MACD on there, but nonetheless, let's get back into what happened today and why I didn't cut the trade when we had some volatile price action in the morning, and continued on and added to the trade and walked away with some pretty nice profits on this. Did not keep any contracts on here. May look for another re-entry. We'll see after the news today. Could be a little bit different market. So nonetheless, coming into the cash hours today on Thursday, it's pretty volatile. Opening on here, it was actually quite a tease. We had a lot of pre-market action on here. If I go in, I'll actually pull that up for you. Get into my settings. We're going to go into equities. We're going to show extended hours trading session apply. Okay, and I don't really like viewing a lot of the pre-market action. I find it can kind of distort things for the day, but nonetheless, coming into here, we can see we had some nice pre-market action out, and then right out the trap, it was such a tease game right up into here. I had not marked that, so we're going to remove that drawing. I marked that later as I continued on through. This was the only valid information that I had. You can see the price really reacted through this price channel. So remember, where did that come from? Looking to the left, auto zoom back out here. We had that big sell-off, swing high. Okay, price action reacted to that and made another high of the day, and then we hung out in this confluence area for quite some time. And this is a reason that when I was looking at this, thinking about the swing trade, that I went quite far out on my options contracts, and I actually went 2 points in the money. So paid a lot of premium on this, but that gave me the benefit of not having the theta decay on the contracts over the evening. That would be detrimental to carrying this thing out rather than having a shorter term contract on it. So yeah, they pay for the premium, and you pay for what you get on there. So opening up out the hatch, it was volatile. Okay, well, this was the only information I have. These are all marked up. Okay. Price was really bouncing between this area. I kept telling myself, if we get a clear break of this 75 level at this point, I was going to cut it and just walk away from JD. But it never did break this zone that it was able to break yesterday, and then you can see we had a further affirmation with the cross of the 926 EMA on there. Okay. Now, as kind of the day proceeded on, I was marking things up throughout the trade. Got a nice burst, so you can see here that I marked up the highs on here with these price lines, and then actually trimmed a little bit of risk off the trade at this point here. Still was feeling confident, even though there was quite volatile. That it was going to continue, so I left some on the table, and that's when yeah, that's when Wi-Fi went out. Power went out for a moment, and it was quite alarming with the amount of weight that I had on this trade here. Um, yeah, got quite lucky on that. So I had marked that high when Wi-Fi came back on. It was coming right into it was continuing to make new highs of days. I was quite excited about that, and I want to show you guys the exit. So I exited for two reasons. Number one, it was kind of scary having my Wi-Fi and power go out and having this trade going on with a decent momentum trade. Um, and also, you can see by looking to the left that I had already planned a couple of target zones for shedding risk on this trade and continuing on with it. So we're going to go back and look to the past. So you can see here, if we look back, number one, we had the big sell-off. So when we're marking this up, we want to be marking up previous days um, price action. So the open here, you can see coincides with the tops of these candles, just from the crosshairs, and the actual high here. If we look back, I'll zoom out. Okay, you can see that we have some highs in this area, and we have some confluence to the past, and we have the lows of the days in here, and these swing lows. So looking at the previous price action does help to identify the targets. So remember, you have your previous day's highs and lows will help you identify the actual target. So I was aiming. I was ambitiously looking for a full 80% retracement from the previous, but pulling up the fibs on here, we can take a look at it. We made a very nice. I was playing with fibs on here too. So full trade breakdown when we were looking at it was number one. You can see the inverted head and shoulders somewhat. I think I mentioned that in the chat. It was somewhat of a weird inverted head and shoulders on here. Let's take the pre-market action out of here. Okay. Okay, cool. And I see a little bit more of that kind of very aggressive inverted head and shoulders on here, cup and handle, news, catalysts, and really followed a lot of the rules of Fibonacci trading when we apply it over here. So really the objective of this video was not to kind of boast about my win, but was to reinforce to you guys how looking in the past on previous price action is going to give you a clear vision of where price action will be. Is it always like this? No. But we know one rule about the market, and the market will always repeat itself. So yeah, that was JD. It's looking interesting right now. I'm going to take a look at it tomorrow. Had a very interesting sell-off with SPY and the rest of the market down into here, and you can see that. I don't know if you had done an aggressive scalp on it or anything. I chose not to. Well, I walked away with very nice profits on here. Exit on my trade. Wi-Fi came back on. I had these areas marked out. I've marked it off the high here. So I was in my target price zone, and also got a very, very kind of good indication of a trend change, which was this. It was almost a piercing line between here. It's almost okay, not completely. This needs to be a little bit higher. These need to be like, but it was almost a piercing line, bearish candle, indicating a reversal. But I got my exit out on right at noon on my ticket. Right as that first red candle at my price target got out, and Wi-Fi had come out, so I was like, "Get me out of this right now!" And took some pretty nice profits off 10 contracts on here. Pretty crazy price action in the morning at one point during this phase of of the open bid ask spread on the contracts. Bid was 81, so 0.81. Ask was as high as $6. I paid 320 for the contract, so it was a little bit stressful in here when that bid went all the way down to to point A1. I actually tried putting in an additional order for one more contract at 0.100 during this phase here, and it would not take that. That would have gotten my cost bias down really nicely on a couple of things, but yeah, no need to be greedy in these markets, anyways. So yeah, that was a trade. I want to show you guys one other thing that was really big about this was coming back to the greater time frame, and what really sold me on swinging this out overnight, which was the way that the candle finished. We're going to come in. Let's zoom into this time frame here, and you can see while the 9 EMA had been serving as general resistance for this, this ended with no wick on this candle right here. That was a big selling point for me. Also, was well, there's a tiny. Oh, I lied. There's a tiny wick in there. A little bit of perceptual there, but nonetheless, this is a very strong hammer indicating a possible trend change or into a bullish reversal. So yeah, pretty nice seeing it actually on the daily through here. You can see that these lines actually really line up quite nicely. So coming back out, we'll look at the 15. Okay, 15 on there. You can see that flag pretty clear, textbook flag. If we were to measure it into target 1 up there, and then you can see when we go into the 5 on that 2. Whoa, that was going really fast. That we had a bit of a cup and a bit of a handle on there. Definite handle. Handle was longer than the cup. That's a confirmation. And then price action broke above the 200 SMA. So yeah, that was JD.com. Hope you guys enjoyed that and took something from the video. Look forward to trading with the team tomorrow.